What is up, Tiger Gang? It's JT here from the Poco Moonshine family. This is Chatting with Carnivores. We're raising awareness for the Carnivore Diet movie, and we are here today with Adel, the Carnivore Queendom. What's up, Adel?
What up? How
How you
y'all doing?
doing? I'm doing real good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Had a long day at work. Ate a nice steak when I got home.
What do you do for work?
I
Since
work at
you mentioned it.
I work at an animal hospital. I'm a supervisor for the receptionists.
Okay, nice.
Mhm. And I go to school.
Well, you're busy.
Yeah, all the time.
That's great. Um, you where did you grow up? I'm curious.
I grew up in a lot of places. So I was born in Oregon in Portland, and
Mm-hmm.
then uh, at a young age we moved down to Texas, the Valley. And I mean, if you're from the Valley, I mean, you go city to city. You've lived everywhere down in the Valley. It's kind of close to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So, I grew up in Mission, McAllen, Edinburgh, Harlingen, La Villa, like different cities around the area. I was never in one spot for too long.
So yeah, you guys were just moving and grooving.
Yeah,
Where
never
you
grew up
at
in the
now?
neighborhood. I live in Houston.
Houston? Okay. I got you. Um and do you have kids?
Yes, I have my son who's 13 and my daughter who's 11.
Okay. Are they what do they think about the carnivore?
My son's like, hey, I don't mind eating steaks every day.
Yeah, it is good. I love steak, I'm telling you.
Well, my son has ADHD, so I feel like he would really benefit from a carnivore diet. And then if not carnivore, like low carb or really low carb,
Yeah, I got you.
maybe. He
Yeah.
eats what I eat.
Well, I want to let's all hop in our time machines here for a minute. Can you take us back to the time of your childhood and just kind of how you grew up?
Yeah, so I grew up with two parents that were both addicts.
Mm-hmm.
They were both addicted to heroin, and my dad was real abusive. So it was me, my brother, and my sister. We started off in Oregon, and the reason why we came down to Texas is because my parents would use a lot. So we burnt bridges at my great grandma's house, so we had to leave. And we got down to the valley, and things just got worse. And drugs continued. My dad would drink, was very abusive to us, to my mom. So it was a rough childhood, and
Imagine.
yeah, it really was. You had to have really thick skin growing up with my dad. And then when I was a teenager, I sent myself to Job Corps to get out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Job Corps and stayed there for about a year and went back home. My parents separated. Finally, my mom
Mm-hmm.
went back to school. She got her PhD and her master's. So, things started turning around.
Well, definitely. I mean, I can tell from what you're saying. Um Here I got you mentioned that when you stopped because you sent me some notes and in the notes you said you mentioned that you when you stopped doing drugs and drinking, that's when you got addicted to food. Can
Yep.
you fill us in on that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like there was always some type of addiction to food because growing up in a home where where food is scarce, you don't have much to eat besides ramen noodles in the pantry, and even at that, a pack of ramen noodles with no seasoning because mom made goulash the day before.
Mm-hmm.
So there was always an issue with food. So whether not having it caused that addiction, and then having it in abundance made the addiction worse. So it was just, I became severely depressed. I had a lot of anxiety growing up. I had PTSD from my childhood, and I would cope, after doing the drugs and stuff like that. I coped with life by just consuming food. It was my way out and my way to chill. And it was every time I watched TV, I'd have a bag of chips, or I got to the point where I was 230 pounds. And yeah, that's when I was pregnant. But I mean, that's my baby don't weigh 30 pounds.
No, no.
you know, type 2 diabetic, and lying to the doctors when they did the glucose tolerance test. where you have to drink that orange drink. And they
Mm-hmm.
say, if you throw it up, you better tell us, because then you got to retest. And I said, oh, no, I didn't throw it up, but I did. And, my son, probably it's in my genes for him to be type 2 diabetic, because I definitely was. And going to different doctors, and the doctors wanting to put me on metformin, wanting to put me on insulin when I have hyperinsulinemia. My body produces too much insulin. How are you going to try to inject me?
And want you on more of it.
Yeah, exactly. And wanting me to go on diet pills, phentermine. So I did try phentermine for a while. And although I lost weight, my anxiety went like skyrocket through the roof.
Really?
It was bad. And I started having anxiety attacks. So I stopped that medication. And then, the binge eating started after starving myself from that, when I was taking that medication, because I wouldn't eat, and the binge eating started. And I just felt so restricted that I'd spiral. I'm Mexican, so I like Mexican food, and I like the snacks, and
Hey, I'm not Mexican and I like Mexican food. Okay. I understand you.
But some snacks you get in Mexico, or what I mean, the crazy stuff that you buy at like a paleta store or whatever.
You ever had the corn with the chili powder on it?
Yeah, the elotes.
Yeah, that's where the guy came up with Cheetos.
Exactly.
He was Spanish, and he's a very smart guy, and he said to put that chili powder on all the Cheetos. So
yeah, they just came out. Yes, exactly. So I grew up with all of that. So eating like in Mexico, they have these candies that are pure like chili, like burn holes in your stomach chili. And I grew up eating all of that. And not only that, I'd buy a bag of hot Cheetos, the large bag, and I'd put chamoy and hot sauce and pickles. And
so you've got the taste for it, but your body's just like, come on, girl.
My body eventually gave up on that stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, nope, not going to happen, no more.
When did you mentioned you had bulimia? When did that come about?
Bulimia started off and on when I was in high school. And that's why I'm really worried about my daughter, just because there's bullies, females in high school want to be look attractive to boys. And when a girl's being called fat in high school, it causes a lot of insecurities, and it just makes them spiral. So what do? They become bulimic or anorexic or so many other type of diseases, because it's a disease. And that's what I suffered from off and on for years. Yeah, it started in high school.
What helped you get past that, for anybody who might be suffering with that, anybody who can relate to that?
What helped me really get past it is by seeing a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Learning about a part of the reason why I would suffer from binge eating and purging and bulimia is because I never knew this, but I have severe ADHD. And, that's how I finally was diagnosed as an adult, by going to see a psychiatrist and trying to figure out what's wrong with me. Like, why do I keep doing these things? And she said that a lot of people are misdiagnosed with just anxiety and depression. They may have it, but it's also linked to ADHD.
I got you. Yeah. See, I've been learning all sorts of stuff on this carnivore diet, even about other conditions I've never even heard of or had. Let's talk some carnivore. How long have you been on your carnivore diet?
Today's day 23.
Day 23. And how many pounds would you say you've lost, like, in those 23 days?
20. I'm already at 168 pounds. So I was at 180 when I started.
Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. Has the carnivore helped your mental health? Has the carnivore diet?
Yeah, it definitely has. So the last year and a half, my mom and my dad actually passed 2 months apart last year.
I'm sorry.
My mom passed in, thank you. My mom passed March of 2022, and my dad passed May of 2022. And you just get into this, it's like a film, like covering your eyes and this darkness that you start feeling. I got to the point where I looked at my boyfriend and I was like, I have no parents, like, what do? I lost all like connection to the world. And I wanted to lay down. I just wanted to chill. I didn't want to do nothing, talk to nobody. I didn't want to hear the I'm sorries. I didn't want to hear none of that because the anger was so built up, you know? And that depression, man, I was in a dark place. Sometimes I would even think like, what's the purpose? You know, what's the purpose of it all? But that was the severe depression. And then I was like, enough's enough. Like, eating bad, gaining weight is just making things worse. You know, I was hospitalized last year in September for diverticulitis.
Okay.
And that's when you have like pouches in your colon.
Mm-hmm.
And those pouches can be, I guess, can trap bacteria or whatever. And an infection can start, right?
I got you.
So they thought it was my pancreas. So from where I was pointing, it was on the right side. So when they did the CT scan, they saw those pouches in my colon. And from then on, like, I had to change everything. My doctor recommended that I go high fiber. I was vegan during this time. I was whole foods, plant-based vegan when I got
How
sick.
long were you vegan?
I was vegan from the beginning of the year so I transitioned to a vegan diet because I had a pre-cancer scare. And my doctor said it's best to eat foods that are high in antioxidants and, you know, all this other stuff. So I did. You know, it wasn't cancer, but I was so freaked out that that's what I did. So, you know, I transitioned from super low carb keto and losing all this weight, like 40 pounds on keto, to a whole foods plant-based vegan diet. And then I got sick. You know, I started in January, got sick in September. And I was always wondering, like, why do I always feel bloated? Why does my stomach hurt? Like, why do I feel like crap every day? And so when I got sick with diverticulitis, the doctor was like, you need to eat high fiber. And I'm like, what the hell you think I'm doing?
How much more can you get?
Day.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you need to increase your fiber. I'm like, every single thing I consume has fiber, you know? And he's like, you need to take probiotics. And I'm like, I'm taking probiotics. So at that point, I knew it was all BS. Like, I knew something was going on and I couldn't figure it out at that point. So I started watching different videos with Dr. Berry and Dr. Ovadia and, you know, Intentional Carnivore and all of them and Homestead How. And I was like, is this possible? Can I really do this? And not, because I get pain every day, right? It feels like someone's squeezing your colon and stabbing you with like a freaking knife. And I was like, can I really do this? Like, how am I going to feel? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to bite the bullet and I'm going to do it. No pain. I slipped up 2 times. I'm not even going to lie. One day I had a Modelo and I had
What is that?
A Modelo is a Mexican beer.
Oh, Modelo. Okay.
Yeah.
You just said it with such an accent. I couldn't. Yeah, I've had Modelo. I say it a different way. Yes.
A
But
Modelo,
yeah, Modelo, I love it. It comes with the little tinfoil on the top, right?
Yeah. You know what Takis are?
No.
Okay, so it's a Mexican chip with like chile on it, right?
Okay.
So it was like this tiny, the little bag. It was my birthday. So, you know,
How dare you?
Bingo, right? I was playing bingo with my friend and I drank one beer. The next day, I hadn't had pain at all. The next day, instant pain. And I was like, you know, this is working. Like, if I haven't had pain for this long until I slipped up and had that beer and the bag of chips. So then I paid for it. It was like 3 days and I was in pain every day. I had to take those stupid pills that the doctor gave me. They're not muscle relaxers, but they relax your intestines. People take them when they have like IBS and stuff like that. So I had to take those for 3 days and I felt all nasty and drugged and disgusting. And then the next time is when I thought I was good to drink something that was sugar-free. And so they had snow cones at my job. They got us a snow cone truck. And I got a sugar-free snow cone and instant pain. 10 minutes later, I was like, oh no, that's it. I'm done. So since then, I try to focus on lion diet some days, and then I'll mix it up like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But pretty much carnivore, I have some cheese here and there.
Yeah, I try not to get much cheese. Like we've been making taco bowls. And it's like I put the steak down and then I put ground beef on top of it, then top it with a little cheese. Oh man, I I cannot lay off that right
I
now.
know it's addicting. Today I went to Sam's Club and there's
Hmm.
this like a bread cheese. I think that's what they call it, where you can cut it up and it fries and it
Hmm.
tastes like a what is that? Grilled cheese sandwich.
Okay.
And I tried that today and I was like, you know what? Nope, I'm sorry. I can't do this because I'm gonna eat the whole thing.
Yeah. And plus, we made a carnivore pizza, and it's with the cheese crust. You
Oh,
just mix
nice.
like 6 cups of cheese with 3 eggs, and
Yeah.
then flatten that into a circle on parchment paper and bake that for like 20 minutes. And then you've
Ooh,
got your pizza crust. And then just I no sauce, but throw the mozzarella on there, throw the pepperoni, the sausage.
yeah,
Ooh,
that's
and
perfect.
it was pretty good. I but not as good as that taco bowl. That
Yes.
was real good.
My weak spot is Salvadorian sour cream. That is my weak spot.
Where do you get that?
Well, down here you get it like at Walmart or
Oh, okay.
HEB. Yeah, it's just this different type of. It's like sour cream. It's just different. I don't know how to
Hmm.
explain it. It's Salvadorian, but that's one of my weak spots. I don't even like heavy cream like that or
No.
shredded cheese or but the Mexican cheese or the Latin cheese or whatever. That's addicting.
Yeah, I'm from Wisconsin, so I can eat just about any cheese, honestly.
There you go.
Yeah. What are some other health benefits you've experienced on carnivore? Are you snoring at all? Like that's one of them that a lot of people talk about.
You know what? I haven't even asked my boyfriend.
You should ask
I
just
should ask
because
him.
sometime, and then put it on a vlog and give us an update. But what are
Well,
some other benefits you've experienced?
I think I stopped snoring when I lost the 40 pounds. So
Hmm.
I think, keto did that for me because I remember in high school, I'd get in trouble and go to ISS and I'd fall asleep at the table and I'd get woken up for snoring real loud, you know? So, and then my son would tell me back then I would snore, but nobody's complained about it since. So, I mean, I don't think I snore. Other benefits that I
Hmm.
felt besides like the crazy increased energy, I feel like the wrinkles that I started getting on my forehead are going away. My skin has improved a lot. I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, so I get like hormonal acne,
Hmm.
and that's completely cleared up. My scarring is actually disappearing. I have KP, which is like keratin buildup in the hair follicles in the back of the leg, so it causes like little tiny bumps.
Hmm.
That's actually completely cleared up.
Wow,
Weird, but I feel like my underarms aren't getting that hairy anymore.
that's crazy.
Yeah. And I was like, dang, I hadn't shaved in like a week. And I was like, wait a minute. Is that
That's
carnivore?
a new one. That's a new carnivores don't shave.
Yeah, there you go.
Hmm.
Another one is when I get sick, I end up getting like a fever blister. Yo, from one day to the next, it was like, so I felt the swelling and stuff. And my coworker was like, oh, I think you're getting a fever blister. And I'm like, God damn it.
Don't feed it energy. Just
Yes. And then
ah.
the next day, literally, I woke up and I'm like, yo, it's gone. It's not there no more. And so I told my boyfriend, I was like, you know how when I get, because I had gotten the chills and I felt like I was getting a fever and I was like sweating and I didn't feel nauseated. And then the next day is when the fever blisters started coming out. And I told him, you remember when I used to get fever blisters? They'd get like really bad and I'd pick at them and they'd get nasty. And, he's like, yeah. And I'm like, and they would last for like a week and a half. And I'm like, it's gone. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah, it's gone. He's like, man, you have me debating this carnivore. He's like, I'm really, thinking about joining, what you're doing. And I'm like, you should. He's had a lot of GI issues too.
Yeah, you can expect him to be marching right behind the drumming that you're doing pretty soon. It's just a
Exactly.
matter of time.
Yep,
My
exactly.
wife's on carnivore now too, and she's like on day 31 now. She just passed a month, and
Nice.
she almost did a pound a day.
Wow.
Like and snoring stopped after 3 days. That
Yeah,
I can tell you, because
that is
she did
awesome.
used
You
to snore,
see?
but not anymore. So I
I'm trying
mean,
to get other people on the boat. And one of the doctors that I work for, I was eating a steak and she made a comment. She's like, you should not be eating just meat and cutting out your carbs. And I was just like, mind your own damn business, lady.
Tell her to lift up her shirt and let's see your belly and tell
I
me.
know. I'm like,
Let
don't
me
you
see
have
your
GI issues? Like, come on.
yeah.
She's like real skinny, like this aerobic
Like
lady.
unless I see abs, I'm not taking your advice.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm
she has
gonna keep doing what I'm doing because we're all trying to improve right now. So unless you got the magic sauce, this is
yeah.
the magic sauce.
But I'm like, for what works for me might not work for her, but she's never tried it, so you never know. You know,
Right.
my boyfriend lost 100 pounds on keto alone, and now he's going back to low carb. He had been sick for about 3 months. He had SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth.
Mm-hmm.
So they were trying to get him on like a low FODMAP diet and eat white bread and I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. You need to go low carb.
Like let's go home and have some steak.
Yes, exactly.
I feel too like when there's less pressure on what are you gonna eat and not counting calories and stuff, like it just
Mm-hmm.
it it feels freeing, man, to just be able to eat, feel full pretty quick, and then move on with the day. And before I was on carnivore, I always had cravings. I was sitting there like, man, I could go for Pizza Hut. I could go for
Yep.
Barbiere's is one of my like local like holes in the walls for pizza, you know, like one of those tiny mom
Yeah.
and pop places that just has the best double dipped garlic bread. I mean, I was always craving it. And
Yeah.
now my cravings like are virtually gone, especially for that stuff. Like
Same.
the first 5 days, I wanted every chocolate donut I saw on the TV. We had 2 left in the house, and I just kept staring at them and staring at them. It was bad. But after about 5 days, my carb cravings went away, and
Nice.
you just got to stick in there and stick with it and give yourself a
Mhm.
chance.
Yeah, mine went away also completely. Like people can eat next to me, whatever the heck they want. I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not, and that's because my food addiction was so bad. Like, do y'all have a Shipley's Donuts over there?
No.
Okay, well they sell. Do you know what a kolache is?
Mm-mm. Teach
So
me.
a kolache is basically like this pastry that's about that big,
Okay.
maybe
Like
six
a
inches,
long john almost.
kind of. Yeah, and it like a pig in a blanket.
Okay, okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
What's
Okay,
in there though?
a big piece of sausage and cheese
Oh,
and
okay. Yeah, yeah,
like
yep.
that, right? So imagine a 6-inch kolache that's full of bread and then sausage inside, and
Oh,
me eating 6 of those
whoa.
and then eating 4 donuts after that. You know, that's how bad it was. I would
I
go to
used
the
to get
point,
like that too.
yeah, I would binge so bad that I would go upstairs because my boss would buy everybody snacks. And of course, he doesn't buy any healthy snacks, right? So I'd go upstairs and the little mini bags of chips, and I'd down like 6. And then there was like Nutter Butters, Oreos. I would have like 2 of each, you know, like, but the bigger packs, you know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then move on to something else until the point where I just felt sick, you know, and my day was gone. I was just like, I just want to go home and go to sleep and just forget about this day. And, you know, but now it's so different. It's just, I have no cravings. I actually feel when I get full, you know, or and
Mm-hmm.
when I'm hungry, I listen to my body. I'm not just eating out of impulse.
What about like soda? Do you drink soda?
I used to drink Zevias, the ones made with stevia. I
Mm-hmm.
quit those when I started carnivore.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
soda. I even before carnivore, I had stopped it because it just every time I drank it, it literally made me feel like crap, and I was like, why am I? You know, like why am I not loving myself? Like why am I keep? Although I might see, and that's why I think we should use our 5 senses a little bit more
Yeah.
because I kept like you said the Nutter Butters. I mean, my God, dude, they're of course the Oreos, they're
Yeah.
delicious. Like,
Mhm.
but that's we're not here to debate if they're delicious. Like, of course
Yeah.
they're delicious, and that's how I got into trouble. If I
Mhm.
used my 5 senses less and
Yep.
used my thinking a little bit more and said, okay, but am I actually hungry? Is this gonna make me feel like crap, or is this gonna make me feel better after I eat it? And use those 5 senses less. Like, yeah, it might look good, taste good, smell good, all that stuff, but
Mhm.
like, does it love you? Like
Yeah,
when after you eat it? And if it
exactly.
doesn't love you after you eat it, you don't need a friend like that in your life. You really
No,
don't. Like, miss
no.
me with that.
Yeah, exactly. When I started carnivore and I felt like I needed to eat something and I was just feeling real snacky, I'd go to the fridge and I'd get another piece of steak. and I'd heat it up and just eat that. Or I'd go and grab a few pieces of, because I would cut up the bacon real small,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd have a whole container full of prep bacon, and I'd go and I'd take
Ooh.
pieces and I'd, just eat a little bit and then I'm done, And
Mm-hmm.
that's how it was like the first couple days of carnivore until I was able to adapt. And now I'm fasting 23 hours a day. And then, sometimes, not all the time, but then I'm able to make wiser choices than what I used to in the past. Things that I know will nourish my body,
Mm-hmm.
eat to live, is the best thing that you can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Not
you don't want to live to eat.
Yeah.
Then I feel like when you love something that much that's not yourself,
Hmm.
you give your power away.
Yep.
And that's it's never going to go well for us when we give our power away. We have to hold on to that power, and it's not being greedy. You're saying, no, I'm going to love myself. It's like even being in a relationship with somebody, and it's like they don't treat you the way you would treat yourself.
Yeah.
That same thing with my food, man. If you don't love me back, like I'm loving myself, and if it don't fit, it ships. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's out.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody really likes anything or person controlling them,
Mm-mm.
And I was so fed up of being controlled by food. Like I remember my manager telling me, like, Adele, I remember when we used to work together upstairs, and at 8 o'clock in the morning, you were already talking about food. You were making everybody else hungry. Oh, what am I going to eat for lunch? And I was tired of thinking about food constantly,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just consuming. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do something, and hopefully what I'm doing is right for my body. And hey, 23 days in, and it's right. I was right.
So, what are you eating on the carnivore diet? I watched a couple of your videos. I saw you cooking bacon, eggs, prepping the steaks. But can you
Yeah.
tell us some more? What do you like to eat on your carnivore diet?
So it all depends on how I feel. That's why I prep everything throughout the day. But I mainly eat, like, I tried to eat some roasted chicken wings the other day. They didn't sit well with me because I mainly focused on beef and pork and eggs.
Mm-hmm.
So chicken doesn't really satisfy me the way beef does. So I'll do like ground bison, ground beef, and I'll make them with bacon. So, so add more flavor and some more fat to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have my steaks. Sometimes I'll buy ribeyes. Sometimes I'll buy New York strip. When I get ribeyes, I don't add butter. But when I get New York strips, I do
Add
add butter
butter. Mm-hmm.
because I
Yeah.
need I need more fat.
Mm-hmm.
My eggs. So Intentional Carnivore made these awesome deviled eggs, buttered deviled eggs. They were phenomenal. Well, he didn't make them for me, but I remade them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, off of his. Yeah.
Yeah, off of his recipe or whatever he said to do. So I made them, and then I just like I was addicted to them because I love eggs.
Well, how
And
do you explain it to us? How does it go?
all you do is
Enlighten us.
I just put them in the Instant Pot for like 5 minutes, take them
Mm-hmm.
out and do an ice bath for 5 minutes, and then I peel them. I take all the yolk out, and then I actually warm up a stick of butter, and this is for like 12 eggs. I warm up a stick of butter and to where it's melty and soft, and then I mix all the yolk inside with the butter, the cooked
Oh.
yolk, and then I just whisk it, and then I fill the little, I was going to say huevos, but I mean eggs, eggs with the yolk butter, and then I add salt to it too. But that's it, and it's like super creamy and delicious. You don't even miss the mayonnaise.
What do you do when you get snacky? I know you mentioned earlier, like with the bacon, but is there anything else like when you're getting snacky, beef jerky or anything?
I like carnivore crisps. Those are my
Really? Okay, I've
favorite.
never tried them.
They are good. I don't like, there's this other brand, Carnivore Snacks, that they came out with, and I really didn't like them. But the Carnivore Crisp, because sometimes, depending on the ones you buy, they're
Hmm.
crunchy. And so I'll like sneak them in my bag in the movie theater,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, and I enjoy, snacking on those while we're chilling and watching a movie. But that's pretty much it. I don't snack on anything else
No.
besides stuff like that.
What do you do like if you're at a family party or something and there is either no meat options or not that much for
We're
you?
Latin. There's always meat option.
Okay, good.
The meat is the main course in any, in a lot of Hispanic dishes.
Okay.
So if they're making like tamales or something, just save me some pork. If they're making, different types of dishes, there's always meat involved. So they know to hook it up and save me some on the side. So I
Yeah,
can.
for me it's maddening. Like I absolutely love like tacos and pizza, and the
Uh-huh.
tacos, like I mean the pizza is like it was tough, but
Yeah.
like the tacos, it's so frustrating. I'm like, dude, I can have almost everything on that thing except for my damn soft tortilla shell.
Yeah.
Like, why? I get so
Exactly.
pissed off about that to this day. I'm like, why? Almost everything's okay except for that
Yep.
damn. So
Now,
I've been trying to think. I'm like, I need to. Then my wife was like, well, maybe we can do a like a cheese shell, same
oh
way
yeah,
with
you
egg and
can.
cheese. And I was like, yeah, but that's not tortilla. It's not the same.
Do you ever so are you full carnivore or do you have like low carb stuff here and there?
No, we're
You're
carnivores.
full carnivore.
Carnivores.
Carnivore.
I am corny sometimes. My wife would
Well,
call
there
me a
you
carnivore.
go. Yeah, you can do it with the cheese shell, like she was telling. Just get a pan and just melt shredded cheese in there, or however
Hmm.
whatever cheese you want, and then just let it get crispy. Perfect.
Yeah,
It
I
works.
just miss that tortilla though.
Put some seasoning on it, like.
Doesn't replace that softness, the
Oh,
fluffy.
oh, you like the soft tortilla.
I like this. It's like a pillow. It's just a pillow for my little taco pillow. It's just
Oh yeah. When I was keto, there was a store down here, HEB, and they came out with these Keto Pro tortillas, right? And I mean, they're still high carb, but
yeah.
low net carb, right? So when I was keto, I would buy them a lot, but literally they stopped making them because they ran out of all the ingredients. But they tasted so much like real Mexican tortillas. If you were getting
Really?
them at a restaurant, it was crazy. I thought they were fake for a long time. I thought they were lying, and they just like
Yeah.
branded them as keto to sell them. But no, they were amazing, and I was losing weight like this
Hmm.
eating those every day.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd ever try keto. I'm getting such good results with the
Oh,
carnivore. It's
same.
like I saw Carrie do keto, and I watched him do it, but it never really made me jump off the fence until he did carnivore. And
You can spiral with keto and start getting
I feel like, yeah, it's like,
to the keto snacks and the almond flour and the artificial sweeteners, which I mean, and I try to tell everybody, my boyfriend got really sick with the artificial sweeteners, erythritol and sucralose and all that, because our body, we don't digest them. So they're
no,
just sitting there until our body decides to excrete them.
we shouldn't drink the sugar, eat
Mm-mm.
it, whatever, and you shouldn't want the sugar replacement. It's, if
Exactly.
anything, it'll probably kill you quicker than the damn sugar. At least the sugar will give you diabetes and give you some time. Not that you want that either, but like the sugar replacement's almost even worse, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. So it made a lot of us sick, and that's why you get bloated. And so and I'm just like, you know what? I don't even want to deal with none of that. I'm not going to get dragged into that, downward spiral of
Right.
keto snacks again, because there's so many things that, you count your net carbs in a keto snack and it's like 4 net carbs, but then you count the total carbs and it's like 25 total carbs. It's not even worth it.
Yeah, and you were saying in one of your videos that like if you feel like you've got extra points, you feel obligated, even if you're not hungry. You feel like you want to use them anyways. That
Yeah,
is
you're
it.
like,
Yeah,
ooh,
that is so true. Like
uh-huh.
you gotta just listen to yourself, and
Yeah,
I feel like your body will naturally give you the discipline you need if you just listen to what it was saying. And
exactly.
then instead of going by what people say, but you got extra numbers. I don't care. I'm
Yeah,
not hungry. Here,
yeah.
you take my numbers and you can wiggle jiggle, okay? I don't need that right now. I'm full. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Have you tried any cool carnivore recipes that you could let us know about?
I haven't tried, just besides the eggs.
The egg, okay.
I try to keep it simple. If I start overdoing things, it kind of stresses me out,
Mm-hmm.
and then I get just overwhelmed with everything. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
keeping it simple so I can stay on the long haul. Later on I'll probably dabble in some recipes, but as of now I haven't had the need to yet.
No, it's good. Yeah, for me mostly it's just that taco taco bowl, and then the carnivore pizza. It was kind of cool.
You
It's only
got to
two
try
things
the
that were
carnivore crisps, because I have made nachos out of those.
okay.
They are good, and they taste like if you were eating, it's all it is meat and salt. That's all it is.
Really? Carnivore crisp. I'm gonna write that
Yeah.
down.
CRISPS, crisps. Yeah.
Crisps. Okay.
Yeah. Those are good. I like the chicken breast ones.
So
They don't
they've got different flavors.
they have brisket, they have lamb, they have yeah, a lot. They have chicken skin. I didn't like the chicken
See,
skin.
now you're making me hungry.
Yeah.
And I'm carnivore.
Yes, I know.
Well,
They,
what about your exercise? Do you
so
exercise? What does that look like?
I joined a gym and I'm really focused on body recomposition and strength training.
Hmm.
And I don't do a whole lot of cardio. I'll just get on the elliptical for like 15 minutes, or the stair climber for like 15 minutes. But I'm really focused on building muscle and getting strong. I like to follow Dr. Fit and Fab. I don't know if you know who she is, but she's
No, I can look her up though after this.
yeah, she's an obstetrician. She came out with the book Hard to Kill, and she's a carnivore.
Hmm.
And
Carnivores are hard to kill.
yeah,
I
she
believe it.
exactly. So she does a lot of weight training and stuff like that. So that's what I'm focused on. Do I go regularly? No, because I pulled my back yesterday.
No.
And I slept wrong and I jacked up my entire shoulder. But I
You should
mean,
try a TENS unit.
oh,
TENS. And
tennis,
then TENS unit. Look them up on Amazon. They're like $13,
really?
and you get these little sticky pads, and then you put like two AA batteries in there, and it's like having a personal masseuse
Oh, I'm gonna do that.
all day because they're stuck to wherever the problem is. And you could even get some that got two plugins, and you could have four pads, and it's like,
Ah,
ooh, I'm feeling like, like
I'm just all my
bionic and stuff.
back and arms and everything.
Yeah, so and then it's just nice. It's like, I don't know, it's like
I'm gonna
13
buy that.
bucks, and it's like having a personal masseuse. And if you are
Yeah,
having,
it's better than I have a massage gun, but it's really short. I can't reach, in certain areas.
my chiropractor had one. It's like,
Yeah, I have that one, but it hurts sometimes.
oh, does it? Yeah, if you're sore enough, yeah.
Well, I started
Magnesium helps too with muscle.
magnesium.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have magnesium. I yesterday it was so bad that I had to take a tramadol for my back, but now it's getting better.
Yeah, look up a TENS unit. You're gonna thank me later.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that for sure.
What would you say to someone who wants to start the carnivore diet, maybe, but they're nervous or they're kind of scared, because they're used to people saying you can't eat all that bacon and eggs and.
I would say do your research. Don't a lot of people think that they know about health when they don't.
Hmm.
And people try to preach different diets but they don't know how the human body actually is affected by these diets. Some doctors do that study functional medicine, like Dr.
Hmm.
Berry and Dr. Chafee, those doctors actually put in the work to figure this out. And there's so many more doctors out there. And I would say do your research and really think about it and how it could benefit your life and what do you have to lose. If I like to go all in, and I'm like either I'm not doing it or I'm all in, and I was all in, and I do not regret it for 1 second because I'd rather live my life with people talking down on my diet than with pain in my stomach all the time. Like
Hmm.
they don't know how beneficial it could be when they start.
And it's funny, most people don't talk down on the diet when you're eating ice cream
Yeah.
and all that stuff, and you're running to the bathroom or staying home because you don't feel good. They don't say nothing then. But
Yeah.
then when you start rising from the ashes, my God, do people get upset? They're like, what is this carnivore stuff?
What have you been doing? And you've lost so much weight and you look like 10 years younger. And do you really want to know? I'll tell you, I'll teach you. And then, you try and they don't listen. But I mean, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make a drink.
Right. Everybody's got to make their own decision. You got to want to love yourself. Nobody can
Yes.
love you for you. You got
Yep.
to love yourself.
Exactly. And I want to be as healthy as I can be. And I feel like this is the way to go because if it wasn't, I wouldn't have the energy that I have right now. I wouldn't have the mental clarity. My depression wouldn't be gone. My anxiety wouldn't be gone. My pain wouldn't be gone. And things have changed in a 23-day period, have changed drastically. like I said, I was depressed for a year and a half with, tons of stuff happening. It wasn't just my parents, it was my son had an emergency surgery done, and I got into a really bad car accident. My mom's dog died, like it was just like back to back to back to back. And when you're in this dark, like severely dark place, you don't care about anything or anybody or yourself,
Mm-hmm.
And I was at that point in my life when I stopped caring. I was hard to be around at that point. I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to hang out with friends. I didn't want to associate with anybody. The first day at my work, I remember going into a meeting and looking at everybody pissed off, like, you don't know how I feel right now,
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started Carnivore, it's like, okay, day one was okay. Yeah, I'm feeling good, right? Day two, it was like, dang, I have all this energy now, and day three was like, where the hell did my depression go? And my anxiety, like it's gone. But literally by day three, I would say going into day four, I just felt like a completely different person. It's like a light switch went on and I can finally see life again.
You said you were writing music and you feel like you're writing less and talking more about
Yeah.
do
So
you
I
feel
had
like that's a better, that you're feeling better, like that's better for you?
I do, because I've always struggled with communication. So I never knew how I knew how to express my feelings, using a pen and a pad, but I never knew how to express my feelings to the people that I love,
Mm-hmm.
Growing up in the childhood that I grew up in, I was never, praised. I was never loved. Well, with my mom, yes, but with my dad, no, and I was never taught, how to be a female or a woman and how to respect people and how, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up with a lot of anger. I was the bad kid in school. I was, in fights and stuff like that. And I now that I look back on it, there was a lot that I analyze myself and I analyze why I am a certain way and what caused me to become this way.
Mm-hmm.
Now I do. Before I didn't. So everything got bottled up inside. So I couldn't talk. I would choke. I couldn't talk about it. But I can grab my spiral and I can write a really good song,
Mm-hmm.
and I can, go hard in the studio and on stage and stuff like that. But when it came to actually expressing myself and feeling comfortable and conversating with people, I couldn't do it. I would get nervous. I would have to have like a 6-pack of beer just to perform on stage,
Yeah.
because I didn't feel comfortable. I loved what I was doing, but I had to get in this type of groove to be able to be that, loud Adele and happy Adele when I had something in my system stimulating me,
Mm-hmm.
and now I don't. And I'm actually able to be myself, who I always was, but it was just, blocked by.
It was in there.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Now I
Yeah,
can let loose.
that's good. And you can reach that higher frequency. I feel like most people bottle up their emotions until the bottle breaks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I that's good that you're letting it flow, because energy flows to you and through you. So,
Yeah.
we're like a garden hose. When it's all flowing, it's good. But then as soon as you kink it,
Yeah.
there's no flow,
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
as long as you know your flow and you figured out a way to express it, that's
Mm-hmm.
amazing, because that's going to help you keep leveling up and hitting your infinite frequencies that you
Yeah.
can,
Exactly. I'll keep going.
yeah, I hope you
Much
do.
more to accomplish.
I got some more questions for you.
Yeah.
So what are your plans? Are you staying on the carnivore? You ever
Yep.
gonna go back to the chili powder and
The Takis and the chin.
yeah,
No, that's not my plan. I can't see the future, but
because your senses might love it, right? But it doesn't love you. And
exactly. But I have noticed that my senses don't no longer care about it either, because people eat that at my work and I just don't care. And I'm just like, whatever, eat that. I prefer not to be sick today, not to be in
yeah,
pain.
yeah, they
You know,
don't know until they've been sick so many days in a row for trying to eat what everybody else is eating. Like, fine, then eat it. If it works, if you don't get sick eating it, fine. But like, it doesn't work for me and my body. And
So
Like,
I'm
who
not
wants
gonna
to
do that.
live a life where every day you feel like crap, dude?
Yeah. And everybody knows how I eat. Nobody peer pressures me and like just try it. You already know I don't eat that, you know? And that's the thing that people need to make apparent from the beginning. Don't say to me, some people say like, oh, just say, you know, I can't eat that. No, I just don't eat that, and be stern about it. I don't eat that, you know, don't offer it to me, you know, like,
Mm-hmm.
and not to be rude or anything, but sometimes people can get a bit pushy and they're like, oh, you know, they know what you're doing for your health, and, you know, they know what changes you're trying to make. They're like,
They
oh,
just want to see if they could.
exactly.
Misery loves company, you know, they really do. And I'm not getting on them, but
Yep.
yeah, you gotta, like you said, when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and then you just, it's the power of a decision. When you start
Yeah.
to, you say, no, I'm gonna choose something that makes me feel good, even though that might taste good and be fun, whatever. It's not
Yeah.
fun afterwards,
Mm-mm.
you know. So then you realize I'm actually having more fun,
Ex-
not indulging in that stuff.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's
And they'll
it's
get
an
used.
awareness. It takes a journey to get to that other side to realize
Mhm.
that.
And if they don't understand what you're doing and they don't accept it, they don't need to be around you.
Right.
Simple. You know,
Hmm.
you're trying to make the changes in your life. And if your friends can accept that, then they can move around. You know,
Hmm.
you have to do you for your future, not for anybody else. You're not here to please anybody else, you
No,
know? You're
they've
here.
got their own decisions they can make. They
Exactly.
can screw up their life if they want to.
Yep.
You
Hmm.
know, like we all get our own decisions we can make, and there's no point to let someone make your decisions for you.
Exactly.
And like Carrie says from Homestead, how you take the power back and you become the captain of your own ship then.
Yep.
And you're
That's
saying,
true.
no, I'm sailing this thing. You understand me? You get down to the poop deck. I ain't sitting on the poop deck no more. You get down there. You tell me how much damn fun it is.
Yep.
Like
Exactly.
now I'm steering and you're on the poop deck, you know?
Yep. And it just scares me. You know, I have a niece that I don't talk to too much, but she ended up having to have a colostomy bag, and she's young, you know, she's maybe in her mid 20s, but that's eating really bad. I mean, I think she was pushing like 350 pounds when I saw her at my mom's memorial service.
Oh.
And
Does she know you're doing carnivore?
no, I don't talk to her like that, you know.
Okay.
But I
Well,
don't
let's
even,
hope she sees you doing it because
I,
that would really help her. And
yeah, I mean, I hope she does. I'm gonna try to get in touch with her and see, you know, how she's doing and
if it's
everything. But
pulling at your heartstrings, the universe is
yeah, tell her.
winking at you to do it.
Yep, exactly. So I'll get
But
in touch with her.
yeah, and just keep being a leader, you know,
Yeah,
because I always tell people, you know, to the world, you may just be somebody, but to somebody, you may be the world.
yeah, that's completely true.
And even if it's someone in your family, your
Hmm.
friends, your neighbors, someone at work,
Yeah,
whether they say it or not, they're watching you
yeah,
and you're
hmm,
there in their life and you're a ball of energy and
yeah,
you just keep doing your thing and you know either they soak it up or they don't. That's on them, you know,
yeah.
either they're in
You tried.
vibration with you or they're not.
Yeah, you tried. You can only try so hard, you know.
I do want to talk about your YouTube channel for a minute.
Sure.
Let's I want to show people your channel here. So
Cool.
let me
Thank
pull this up here. All right, this is Adele's channel here, the Carnivore Queendom. Make sure you guys type that in. You'll see her photo there. She's got the red shirt
you.
on.
That's an old video.
Yeah, you got to go in your settings and pop a different one up for
I didn't
people.
even know that was
Yeah,
there.
it'll be under your customization tab. Oh, you got a dog.
Yeah, that's my dog
Girl,
Yoshi.
you didn't mention that.
Yeah, we rescued him like a few months ago.
Yeah, I only rescue dogs. I mean, there's nothing wrong with buying them. My thought process is like when you buy a dog,
Hmm.
that dog is going to be for sale until he finds a home because it's for profit. But rescue dogs, if you don't save them, they get put to sleep. And that
Yeah,
just, it
and
tears me up.
his breed definitely gets euthanized since he's a pit bull, but he's awesome. He's small too, so he's like a little bully,
Are they called like
pocket bully.
pocket? Yeah, pocket bullies. Yep,
Yeah,
pocket
he's a
pit
pocket
bulls.
bully. And he has heartworms. We got him neutered and stuff like that. But he was like 10 to 15 pounds underweight when we rescued him. And it just so happened to be a girl that I knew that had a friend that found the dog that was going to school to become a vet, but she already had 5 dogs.
Oh,
So she got in touch with me knowing that this is my favorite breed to rescue or to have. And losing my mom's dog, Barbados, he was also a bully that I actually bought when I lived with her down in the valley.
hmm.
And she was like, can I have him, please? He was just an amazing dog. So I was like, yeah, I keep him. I can't have dogs in Houston where I'm going. So she kept him and raised him, and around the horses, around the ponies that she had, the cows, the donkeys, and she did an
It's a fun
amazing job.
life.
Yeah, so losing him really affected me. So we waited until a few months ago, almost a year, because he passed last year in September. Also, when everything bad was, he was diagnosed with B-cell lymphoma, and we tried chemo. But when I was hospitalized with my issue, I had to come home and I had to take him to my job so he can get his second round of chemo. And when I dropped him off and came back home to rest because I was still in severe pain, the doctor called me, and she told me he had passed in his kennel. Yeah. So I was very broken. He was
I can
like the last
imagine.
thing I had of my mom. So things got worse from there.
Yeah,
But
they're
now
little furry angels.
we are.
I hate losing them, you know.
He was just awesome,
What's your current dog's name?
Yoshi.
Yoshi.
Yeah. He looks like
Do,
he looks
now
like Bowser though.
is Yoshi getting slipped some bacon once in a while, and is
Once in
he
a
getting some more
while.
carnivore since
Once
you've
in a
been
while.
on carnivore?
Yeah, but he's kind of on a diet right now because since he got neutered, he started gaining. So he gained all the weight he needed, plus some,
Mm.
because I felt bad because he was starving, and I was just like, you can have some more food, But Yoshi is apparently always starving and always wants food. So
And he
he's
knows
great.
how to play you.
Yeah, exactly. And he's always following everybody looking for food, and oh my gosh. But, he's awesome. We think that he actually survived on lizards like in the streets because
Aw,
he for some reason, and it's only lizards, he'll go and he'll run and try to eat them.
really?
And we were in the backyard the other day, and there was a little baby lizard about this big. And I told him no, like, because I saw him messing with it. And I said, Yoshi, no. And then he put his paw like that and squished it this
Oh
way. And then
no.
he ate it.
I was just watching a documentary called Grandfather, and the guy had this little mouse, and he's like a farmer homesteader, and his dog
Yeah.
came right up, and he just bloop, and dog ate the mouse like it was nothing.
Yep.
And I said, okay, my dogs definitely don't be eating live mice like that. There's a different way of life, but like, hey, man, it's
Yeah, exactly.
Kurt's nutritious. The dog liked it.
He
You know?
had he was like severely anemic from the flea
Mm.
infestation. And then he has calluses on his ankle from sleeping out in the streets, and
Oh.
they cropped his ears, I guess, when he was a puppy, and they
Yeah,
cropped his
I
chest.
hate when people do that.
But I fell in love. We fell in love when the lady brought him to our house, and he just fit in automatically, and he's so like, I don't know who would dump him. He learns, he knows to go in his kennel and wait for his food with the door open.
Mm-hmm.
He's just awesome. He's just an awesome dog. And it breaks my heart that he had to go through that, but now he has a great home, and we're
And
treating.
it was meant to be. The universe wanted you to have them.
Yeah, I mean, we got him neutered. He already had his first heartworm treatment. He gets allergy shots, and he gets pampered, and he's spoiled rotten.
He's a spoiled boy. That's great.
He lays on me like a little baby on the couch, like on his back. And
Well, you got to put him in more vlogs and stuff.
I will. I like rock him, and he'll just fall asleep like that.
Are you gonna continue vlogging your carnivore
Oh
and
yeah.
doing updates for everybody, just for
Yeah.
everybody watching?
Yeah, and I'm going to start filming my weight too. I wasn't doing that in the beginning because I felt like I was eating a lot. And I was like, oh, let me not do this right now. But I started losing weight, so I'm happy about that. And so I'm going to do weight updates and just let everybody know how I've been feeling.
That's great.
Make sure that nothing else comes back, depression or anxiety or none of that. And I start school soon.
Oh yeah, what are you going to school for?
I'm going for my RN, to get my bachelor's in nursing.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
You'd be the carnivore nurse.
Yeah, there's actually a
Nurse
few.
carnivore, you know?
I've seen them comment and I get super excited. It says Carnivore RN and I'm like, nice. Hope you're teaching the patients some stuff.
On September 16th, Carrie at Homestead How his channel, he's doing a 24-hour live stream, and
True.
we're trying to get at least 1,000 carnivores.
Okay.
Would you be down for stopping by at some point? You got 24 hours.
Yeah, I definitely would.
Okay, guys. So you guys heard it here. Were you on the 10-hour live stream?
No,
No. Okay. I
but I
was just
watched
wondering.
some of it.
Yeah. So you did. Okay. This time we're gonna try to get you on it.
Yeah.
And then because I'll make sure you get a link, and then just pop in whenever you can, and share your story for about 1 to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And that goes to the Carnivore Diet movie, the support and awareness, and the documentary really can't get made and help change people's lives without support and funds.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to help Carrie with that. And also, it's cool, I get to meet carnivores, we get to share
Yeah.
stories, raise awareness for the documentary. Like, this whole process is changing so many people's lives, and like, I'm honored that Carrie asked me to be involved. And like I said, I get to talk to you.
Yeah.
I get to hear your story. I'm glad you came on and
Thank you
wanted to
for
share
having
your
me.
story. And I appreciate you watching my interview with Carrie and commenting, because you reaching out. That's how I reached out back to you. So
Nice. Yeah.
a
Yeah.
closed mouth doesn't get fed,
Exactly. I always tell my
even
son
on carnivore.
I always tell my son, speak up. You want something, you got to speak up for it.
My coach always said, willingly ask and graciously receive.
Yeah.
Knock and the door shall be open. It really is that
Yeah.
easy.
Do you have kids?
I have one kid,
What?
my son William. He's 1.5,
Nah.
and yeah, he's the world to me. He's the reason I did a lot of things. I quit my job, became my own boss, wanted to get healthy. Nothing against my wife, I love her, but when you have a child, even
Yeah.
for her, like, she loves me, but he changed her life too. And
Yep.
it's a great time to learn how to be selfless and
Yeah.
put someone else first.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny too, being a parent, you look at your child like this little ball of just magic, like
Yeah.
pure love, pure joy, pure magic. And
Innocent.
honest, yeah, and that's how we should look at ourselves, though.
Yeah.
We we are souls and spirits just as they are, and we might be big kids like I am. I've got all my toys behind me and stuff. I'm still a
Mm-hmm.
big kid,
Yeah.
but we need to just keep that perspective that we're just as special, because at one point in time we were a little kid too. And I
Yeah.
still feel like a little kid sometimes. I get so excited, like I felt like a little kid before this interview started. I'm so happy to get on here and talk to you and get to know you. And
Exactly. Same here. And now we can teach our kids, the true healthy way of eating, the proper human diet, And I explain things to my son, and sometimes he forgets, and, he's 13, he doesn't care. But, the thing is, when we're talking to our kids, and my boyfriend always explained this to me, your parents are talking to you, and you might not be paying attention, but they're talking to your heart.
they're trying to teach you something.
Yes. And that's why, all of a sudden when you get older, you're like, hey, how do I remember this? And because your parents are talking to your heart, they're teaching you.
Because they told you 1,000 times, you just didn't
Exactly.
remember till now.
Exactly. Good luck when your little boy becomes a teenager.
I've been told that before. They're like, yeah, wait till he starts asking for the car.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
already driving a little electric thing around the house. And
it's fun when you can buy them toys and stuff like that. And now it's like, Mom, can I have an iPhone? Mom, can I have an Apple Watch? And I'm like, bro, no. But
like, you can have anything you want, just as long as you work for it.
Chores,
right?
Great.
They can have anything. They really can. It's just, you got to work for it and earn the money. That's the only catch out here in life.
Exactly. And we tell them that your only responsibilities is school and your chores. That's all you have to do. Do it, and we won't have a problem with you. We'll get you what you want. You
do that, and I won't charge you a monthly rent.
Exactly. I won't make you pay back the Apple Watch you lost.
Yeah, no, they're I that's part of the reason. Like when I had sleep apnea and I had my near death experience, like one of the things I said to myself, like I wanted to be a husband, I wanted to be a father,
Yeah.
and I'm alive. I'm getting to do that, and I'm getting to do so much more. I'm getting to interview people, do my YouTube channel. It's just a dream come true every day to be alive, and I
Yeah.
hope everybody feels like that without having to hit such lows as maybe you and me have hit. You know,
Yeah.
maybe someone can watch and can just soak up some of our gratitude for life
Yeah.
and apply that to their own life, you know.
Prevent all the bad from happening.
Or as
Don't
much as it
spiral.
as you can, you know.
Yep, exactly.
Well, I want to congratulate you, Adele, seriously, for
You.
believing in yourself and for taking control of your life.
Thank you. And you as well. That's so awesome. And your wife's your partner with it. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, everybody who gets on this diet is just a bunch of tiger riders. And that's why I say Tiger Gang, man. They're my tiger
Yeah.
riders. Like, you know, we ain't a bunch of boiling frogs. We're jumping out of the pot. We're not going to be boiled, you know, because that's comfort. Comfort will kill you. And
Yeah.
it might be a little uncomfortable, like doing some research and taking the leap to try the carnivore diet. But when you do, you're going to realize, man, I am built to ride tigers. You're going to feel the breeze on your face. You say, I should have been doing
Exactly.
this a while ago. And you
Yep.
got a tiger. And then you're going to find you get to ride all these other tigers.
Yep.
Life is a
Yep.
beautiful thing.
Yeah, it definitely is. Definitely is. Amen.
Right. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, Adele. Everybody, make sure you go flash it up one more time here. Subscribe the Carnivore Queendom, okay? Check her out. She's going to be giving you guys updates. She's going to be putting Yoshi in more videos,
Yes.
right? Yep, and she's going to be cooking. She's going to be doing all that. And she's going to be on the 24-hour live stream too. So, if you guys don't have her on your subscribe list, make sure you put her on there. There's a lot of new carnivores just
Yes.
sprouting out everywhere. It's so beautiful. And I always say, my coach will say too, the first law of learning is repetition.
Yep.
And so I tell people, replay this, rewatch it. There's value in Adele's story. She's here for a reason, and you might be able to relate to her or learn something. So
Yep.
replay it, because sometimes when you watch something or listen, your mind drifts and it's there focused for 1 minute, then you're thinking about groceries, and then you come back to the video and you missed maybe 20-30 seconds. So replay it, make sure you get all the info. Like I said, her story is worth it. And Adele, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, love you guys. Peace out to the next interview. You will see you.
Bye.
Bye. Peace out.